Disclaimer: Skyrim is the only game I feel nostalgic about, except for Freddy Fish, or Kitten Cannon 2, or Dragon Fable. But still, Skyrim isn't even a decade old. How could I feel nostalgic about something that came out less than a decade ago? Well, I'm 23. I feel nostalgic about breakfast. I bought rice checks, hoping for a copy of Chex Quest in the box. I was so young, so naive, so innocent. But I think the real reason I feel so nostalgic for Skyrim is because it's the first game that just grabbed me. I grew up without a console, hence the shitty games, and just had no idea what gaming could offer until I played it. It was a world with an undeniable and unique atmosphere that I find more enveloping than Todd's beautiful blue eyes. Is Skyrim shallow? Mechanically, yeah. There are no defined classes or real specialization. The quests suck too. You become the master of every guild by essentially just walking in. Hey, I'm competent. Shit, really? Well, I guess you're in charge then. We're all fucking useless. Skyrim doesn't really have much going on mechanically or story-wise, and I just don't care. What Skyrim has is an open world that hasn't been replicated. That's the reason it has been and will be released again and again and again.
And again until we're both dead.
Now that we're out of the 2010s, a decade stuffed to the brim with open world games, I think it's important that we look back at Skyrim with fresh eyes. When you take away the hot takes and the bugs and the frustration at Bethesda's constant re-releases of Skyrim, what's left? A magic that no other game has captured. Alright, I need to go to Solitude to join the Imperial Legion. Okay, that's a bit of a hike, but whatever. Ooh, what's this? Some bandits?
Never should have come here.
I could kill a few bandits. Looks like they have a forge where they were making weapons that get stronger when the moons are full. That's pretty cool, but useless. Alright, that's enough fucking around. It's time to... Oh shit, is that a ruin? What's in there?
Oh, fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Looks like some witch was trying to make some sort of super powerful soul gem. And a dead end. Well, that's a bummer, but I must be missing something. Oh well, it's time to get back on the road and... Oh, shit! Skeletons! Wow, that was pretty spooky. It's time to get some loot. Okay, I'm good now. I've got plenty of loot. There's no reason to keep... Oh, is that a cabin? Drelos. That's a pretty nerdy name. I wonder if he can help me with this math homework the College of Winterhold gave me. Or... yeah, I'm gonna steal his shit.
Got you, bitch!
Well, that guy I murdered didn't even have shit worth murdering for. Come on, Cobbler. You do it for the love of the game, not the money. Wait, what the fuck? That's a spooky looking ghost right there. What's he doing here? Is he friendly?
Stay away! I'm sorry. This isn't what I want. I'm sorry. This isn't what I want.
What's going on?
Somebody once told me the world.
Oh, okay, sweet. A bunch of loot just sitting here undefended.
I don't know what I expected.
Oh, yes. Yes! You've fallen for my trap. Greed makes a great lure.
Do you get it? I mean, you get it, right? I'm halfway there. I picked a random quest out of my journal and just started walking. I found bandits forging unique, albeit useless, weapons. A ruin that contained a witch's journal and a mysterious dead end. I know it's because of the companion's questline, shut up. A graveyard filled with surprise skeletons.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I wandered into a mysterious alchemist's cabin. Then I got trapped by a crazy necromancer after fighting through his army of ghost slaves. Consider the following. How do you make a world fun to explore? How do you transform what is essentially just walking to the next objective marker into an epic tale of intrigue and discovery? The way I see it, there's a two-step process to accomplishing this. The first step of which is to fill your game with fun, interesting, and varied locations. It's so easy, game developers.
Write that down! Write that down!
You just had to try harder. You're welcome. That's a free game design tip from the expert himself. Oh yeah, I forgot, that's actually super difficult, and I have no right to sit here in my internet armchair and tell developers that they're just not trying hard enough. But I don't think that's the only ingredient in Todd's secret sauce, because Skyrim didn't just fill its world with interesting places to explore. You see, it also didn't really tell you where any of them were. Whether or not to tell the player where everything is in a game is actually a really important design decision. In an earlier video where I played the original Fallout, the game basically kicked me out of the vault with only 2 pieces of information. We need a water chip, and there might be one in Vault 15. I went to Vault 15 and couldn't go deeper to look for the water chip, so I searched all over the map for a rope. Because that's all the information I had. No objective markers, just a few locations and the knowledge that I needed rope. This essentially broke me completely. I spent most of the game running from rad scorpions and forgetting to quick save. Seriously, if you haven't seen that video, it's just me losing my mind for 20 minutes. But I also stumbled into 2 dudes selling human flesh to an iguana meat stand. After that, I basically just messed around in that quest, trying to extort money from its owner and then later trying to turn him into the cops. My time with Fallout was frustrating, to say the least. Wow, this sewer sure is dark. Hey Interplay, can I have a flashlight? Of course you can. Okay, where is it? What am I, your fucking mom? You can use it if you find it, bitch. But the fact that I was stumbling around blind led me to a fun little adventure. If the game just showed me where the rope was, I would have never explored. And if the game showed me where Bundy and Dahmer were cutting people up, it wouldn't have felt like a discovery. Skyrim struck a balance. Sure, it still holds your hand and you'll never get lost, but you know what? I like it when Todd holds my hand. You want to proceed in Skyrim? Go here. But while on the way there, you can choose to explore. Any of these icons could hold anything. There is no tower in Skyrim that highlights where the actual parts of the game are. Points of interest appear on your compass only when you get close to them, and you only know what's actually in a location by entering it. This is how Bethesda does exploration in all of their games, but Skyrim to me is the ultimate version of this, due to the strange things you'll often find inside these locations. A gang of bandits breeding wolves to fight, a man trying to remove a necromancer from his ancestral tomb, a flooded prison filled with the ghosts and journals of prisoners left to die. Maybe you'll find a nice old lady in a cabin before going into her cellar and learning she's a witch. Maybe you'll just find a headless horseman out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you'll walk by a cave only to find a man bleeding out, asking for a health potion after he was mauled by the bear inside of it. Modern open world games, with the exception of Breath of the Wild, which was coincidentally influenced by Skyrim, tell you exactly where everything is and give you a rough idea of what's there. Side quests and enemy outposts and challenges are clearly marked, usually popping up on the map automatically after you've climbed some stupid tower. As we've gotten to the point where every game is an open world stuffed to the brim with activities, I want you to remember the difference between an activity and an adventure. Walking to Solitude to join the Imperial Legion is an activity. It's nothing more than another box on the to-do list that is Skyrim's quest design. But by only showing points of interest once I get close to them, and by filling those points of interest with engrossing and varied stories, that commute turns into an adventure. If you took out the open world of Skyrim, what would you have? A shallow action RPG with a shitty story and lackluster combat. Do you think Todd could have released that enough times to fund his magnum opus, Fallout 76? Do you think modders would have put in the time and energy and passion to create schlongs of Skyrim? Oh yeah, and these other mods that no one cares about. What about the Arrow in the Knee, or Dova Bear, or the insane number of Game of the Year awards? Skyrim didn't just capture my imagination, it captured just about everyone's imagination. It was a watershed moment. The reason I think every game has turned into a go anywhere, do anything sandbox, and the reason I'm asking you not to forget Skyrim is because Todd told me to. He barged in my door and told me that if I jerked off Skyrim on my channel, he would finally give me the contemporary wood floors in Fallout 76, and I would finally be one with the Todd. Wait, that didn't happen? That was a wet dream I had. No, the reason I want you to not forget Skyrim is because I don't want you to throw the baby out with the bathwater. All modern Bethesda games are shallow, from both a story and gameplay perspective, and Bethesda has been shamelessly milking Skyrim since release. But Skyrim shows what an open world game should be. An open world isn't just about being able to go anywhere, it's about wanting to go anywhere, because you have no idea what you'll discover. Skyrim will let you just chase objective markers, but its world was designed with the knowledge that following instructions isn't an adventure. A to-do list is not an odyssey. The most basic thing a piece of art is supposed to do is make you feel something. That something doesn't need to be particularly deep. That something can just be, holy shit, this is metal. Yeah. Did you really think I could go a whole video without talking about Doom Eternal? Skyrim, huh? Well, I guess there's no way he can drag Doom Eternal into this video. Guess again, idiot! Games aren't excluded from needing to incite some sort of emotion in their audience. Some games make you uncomfortable, some make you sad, some excite you. There's gotta be some emotional through line. Not even thematically, just tonally. A consistent feeling that the game always returns to. What does riding this horse make me feel? What about driving in Rage 2 or walking around in Far Cry 5? My big problem with open world games is they never seem to really make me feel anything unless I'm at the designated locations. These goddamn icons where the game actually occurs. I shouldn't just feel like I'm walking to a place. I should feel like I'm on an epic journey that guys in frilly pants will write songs about. A feeling of freedom and adventure isn't the only thing an open world can make you feel. If it's sufficiently hostile and alien, then it can make you feel uncomfortable. If it's truly empty and quiet, then it can make you feel a sense of peaceful solitude. And if it's just a violent crime simulator, then it can be a cathartic and fun sandbox. I even discussed in a previous video how Fallout's art style imparts a sense of tragedy. Listen, I will take anything, to be honest. Just don't make your open world game Ghost Recon another one fuck you, and I'll accept it. For me, though, the best thing an open world can offer is adventure, but an adventure is defined by the unexpected. Would The Lord of the Rings have been good if they just marked Mount Doom on their map and walked there with nothing happening in between? And that's the problem with Skyrim. It's a problem with all Bethesda games, but one that Skyrim really throws into sharp relief. As I've said about 8,000 times in this video, Skyrim is shallow. It's the Kids Bop version of an RPG. But Skyrim isn't about its RPG mechanics. Nor is it about its story or combat. Skyrim is about adventure. It became a massive success by being unexpected, and conquered the world by filling its own game world with secrets. But they aren't secrets anymore, are they? You know my reactions to all the locations earlier in the video? The way I was surprised by everything I stumbled into?
Acting.
I knew about that necromancer, I knew about Drilos's little love shack, and that skeleton was about as surprising as Todd lying to me.
16 times the detail in even view, distant weather systems.
Skyrim doesn't surprise me anymore, and as a consequence no longer feels like an adventure. Skyrim's constant re-releases do the game no favors, because with every release that magic it had fades a little more. New water shaders isn't going to bring back that mystery. Volumetric lighting is not what secrets are made of. When Skyrim's magic and mystery is gone, all that's left is glitches, paid mods, and shallow mechanics. I've asked you in this video to not forget Skyrim, but I know you haven't forgotten these little stories sprinkled throughout the game. What I want you to not forget is that Skyrim was at one point filled with the unexpected, and that's what an open world game is supposed to be. What makes Skyrim a bittersweet masterpiece is that it's an unforgettable game, yet one that I desperately want to forget, because I'd give anything to feel that adventure again.